Look who came to visit the garden today. Lots of little pollinators are out.
They are so busy.
And it's May, and we thought we would take you on a quick little garden tour to show you all the beautiful things that are growing right now in the garden.
That's true, and we actually want to start right here with the lupins because they are really in bloom and they have really grown a lot this year. There's a bunch of different colors, and I have to say it's my favorite, one of my favorite perennials here. And I also want to take you over here too. We have one in white, and how we actually...
Oh wait, sorry.
Oh, you're doing
Look at that. Yeah, the
insects?
purple and yellow. Super nice.
Very pretty, right? But also this very intense purple color here with a little dotted almost of pink in some of them. Really pretty as well. So they are really pretty here next to the delphiniums coming very, very soon. Everything is just early this year. We had weeks of really rain, then followed by weeks of sunshine. So everything is a few weeks ahead actually. But this one over here has really grown. That was actually one we placed last year. It was a bare root. So it flowered later, but has really, and look at also just the insects here, so busy. It's so funny to see how they open the lupin when you, it's pretty tough to get really.
Let me see. Okay, so he steps on it and then it opens and he gets inside. Can you see that?
Okay.
So for example, Lars is the bee, so he'll step on it, it'll open,
there we go.
and then that's how he gets inside. Let me see if we can see the actual bee.
He's coming on the side there. Oh,
I'm not
waiting for the one.
Yeah, I'm not David Attenborough. I don't know how to film
Oh,
it.
here he comes. Oh, wow.
Anyway, that's how it works.
Okay.
It's really fantastic. And they can hold on in this wind.
It's crazy.
Welcome
right?
to the coast.
Okay, back to the plant, back to the lupin was actually what I wanted to say. But this has really, I think, counting like 15, 20 flower just spears coming here. And what we do also to prolong or to that the plant will produce, in general, just perennial, produce more flowers and summer flowers, that you remove kind of the old stem. You can see down here, still has a little bit of flower here, but starting to look a little bit not so pretty anymore. And that's because in here will start to be the seed pods here afterwards. So all these will get later on. If you want more, you can let it will self-seed. But what we normally do, and also then you don't have lupins kind of everywhere in the garden, we kind of just remove, just go all the way down to where the flower finish, and then it will tell the plant, oh, I didn't make all my baby ones. I need to make more flowers so I can reproduce. So that's how we do here to get even more a little bit later on, a bunch more of these lupins flowering. And I just love the clear white one, really brightens up this middle flower bed. It's
You're
crazy.
gonna walk around with that?
No, I just tossed it there. It is really crazy to think about. What was it, 2 years ago we had a trampoline here, and now it's just like big tree in the middle and just so many different perennials. And we have so much going on. I'm gonna leave my shears there. But we have so many things and great combinations as well. We have the Löwfrö coming here with a really great foliage, but also this very subtle orange. Subtle, yellow, not orange. Yellow here, but it's really pretty. This one next to the native to Denmark, this one, Dagbragstjerne, really great for the insects too. And also another, almost the same color, but the Tjernellige. I really like this combination here, how they really, and it kind of falls a little bit wild over the edge, so we leave it there for now, definitely. But it's really a nice little, and also the blåhat here in the middle. Oh, I'll pull it out a little bit. You can see they come. They are really great as well, also for the insect. Really love these ones.
We have some up in the front. I think it'll be a little easier to show.
Yeah. But this one is really a good flower bed here. And also next to we have a bunch of just like Aquilegia in so many different colors, like more dark. Here's some purple ones. Look at the head here. This one is kind of looking down. And the foliage also as well is really pretty, but we just allow them to self-sow and they're kind of everywhere. But the great thing is then if we get too many in one spot, we just kind of remove them around. And so they're doing really well. The Dahlias are also really doing well with the netting. We placed some Verbena, the Kimber Verbena in the middle, and they kind of this year want to have them light just a cloud of purple here because they get really tall.
Yeah, so that's there in the middle. So the idea is we'll have this spray of whimsical purple flowers.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
And then we will actually put another set of, we have more netting here, it came in a roll, add another one here. So we have a set, so it gives extra stability for the dahlias. And remember, some time back when we planted them, we cut them. I don't know if you can see it. We pinched them, pinched the top here, and see already now, within a few weeks, it has produced side shoots here. So that means you'll get a bushier dahlia with lots more of flowers. It can be a bit nerve-wracking when you first start to take that growth off and you think it's not going to flower, but it's actually going to give you even more flower just a little bit later, but it's going to really be great for more flowers for the dahlias. So the Astrantia is already starting to be in bloom here, which is quite early, but that's really a showstopper here in the garden. We really like that one.
And this one, we have it in white as the white nut.
Actually here, not so...
No, it's not quite as developed as this burgundy one. But look at that.
I have a kind of a mix here, but it's really pretty. And just in front of that one here at the border is also this one, porcelain plums. Look at that one. It is really, really pretty with the long stems of this very elegant flower here. And then just down here, the foliage here is really nice as well. And that's kind of the border, and that really... And it's easy these ones actually to propagate if you want to. It spreads over time very quickly. But if you take one of these, like this, I don't know if I can show you, kind of just break it off. You don't need to have a root on it, kind of. Even now there's a root here, but if there wouldn't be a root on, you just kind of break off the heads here and then place them in the ground, even if there's no, here's root, so it'll be easy. But even imagine if you even break that off and place it in the soil or in the garden, just keep it watered, and then it will start to create roots, this one. So really easy to propagate these ones here.
And if you've ever wondered how we got so many plants, that's how. Lars goes around breaking and sticking stuff in the dirt.
Cuttings and seeds and... No, let's take you over here, and I want to show you the summer anemone. Is really also lights up in the garden with this. Also very tall. One fell over here actually, but normally they just need staking. But the summer anemone, just look at the heads here. They kind of look for the sun here, so you maybe need to turn them a bit. They are really pretty. And very nice here, close to the border, and kind of just, it's a little bit windy today, which I don't mind because it has been so sunny and warm. But down here actually, another great combination here is this Aquilegia frostiana here in white. Just look at that. Just looks like clouds of white. So fluffy, this one.
That's very pretty.
And really next to also the Alunrod here is also a nice combination with this white and this little pinkish color, I would say.
Yeah, I think we could say.
Rose or...
Salmon.
Salmon.
Maybe a uncooked salmon?
Maybe uncooked or a cooked shrimp.
A cooked shrimp or uncooked salmon.
Look at just going back to the insect, look at that. The busy insects everywhere, just in the...
They love these.
That's still in, this has flowered for a very long time, the bjergknopwort here.
This one's really, really easy to... I actually looked at this one just yesterday afternoon, so a lot of the spent flowers are already gone, but you can see it just keeps coming. Oh, that one's gotta go.
And one I'm super excited for that I haven't had in the garden is the Staudervalmue here, the perennial poppy here.
That is creepy.
So, yeah, it looks...
Do you guys like science fiction movies?
Just having one, I'm super excited for that. It's either white or totally, pink or totally red, so I'm super excited for that one.
You never saw Little Shop of Horrors, did you, Lars?
No, I
doubt
did
it.
not.
It probably wasn't very popular.
Wow, you want to talk about horror movies in the garden tour?
This is so Feed Me Seymour. Yeah, anyway.
Okay, back to
It's not like it's a musical, it's not a horror movie.
Oh, okay, but back to the actual garden tour. Wow. But look at this one here. We have again a bunch of different Aquilegia here, and the bees are really, and other insects are really busy in the Aquilegia here, in these open ones. The Barlow ones, a little bit more hard for them, but these really, but look at that. What a crazy color. I think they are so pretty, and they come in so different, so many varieties. And next to the Dahlia here, they really, if you could smell on YouTube, there was a button for that, you can turn it on. This one is really, really pretty. We have some, even more lighter ones. I really like, there's also whites and so really pretty, light pinkish almost, the Aquilegia here.
Here's something that we're going to take care of. This plant,
You're not too happy with this, the
No.
geranium here, kind of.
it's a bit big.
It's called Lady in Morning, and it's
Well,
it's kind of
I feel her.
it's pretty big. So we didn't need to do some dividing. on
Because
that
we
one.
have these beautiful alliums, and in
Yeah.
the back as well. But
Yeah.
this guy, or this lady in mourning, really overtook this
Yeah.
year. So somebody asked us in the comments once about the mistakes that we feel we've made in the garden and things like that. And, I mean, you can call them mistakes, but some things we'd like to move. And that's the great thing about perennials. At the end of the season, you can just move them.
And that's the thing also, what you would say, if you plant this close like we do, then it's also not actually in late autumn we have to divide or move on. It's during the season even we have to keep an eye on. Really, we have done a lot of like, even if you go over here, the Ehrenpreis and the Stauder Salvie, the Cardonna, really early on we had to stake, because the earlier you do it, the better, because then you don't have the risk of them breaking the tender stems here. And also the Stauder Salvie here gets really tall, and it's really important to stake it either with the metal sticks or just like a cross with bamboo. We'll show you further down, because then you really get a good, it won't flap over when they're this close and kind of kill some of the other perennials next to it, which we don't want to do. So staking is also key when you plant very closely, and keep an eye on things that self-sow and grow into each other.
Okay, so my absolute favorite
Ta-da!
plant in the garden is on the way. This wonderful blanket flower.
It is coming, and look at that. We have the tendency of, this one is a short-lived perennials. We do kind of sow extra ones every year, because some of them don't really come back. And it's really a must-have in the garden, because it flowers from now. Now it's pretty early actually,
Yeah,
but
quite early.
like here and from May, and then all the way until the frost. And also the key here is deadheading. Alan is out here all the time deadheading all those, and it will just, I would say when we do in just in a month's time or longer, then this little patch here will just fill out the whole.
And the thing with this guy, when he gets too big after usually around 2 years, then it can split in the middle, and it'll almost flop over, and you can see the exposed middle.
Yeah.
So that's when you know it's kind of time to get a new one.
Yeah. Maybe show them the Sweet Williams that we actually grew from seeds. Look at that. They are just one is coming, but this whole thing here will just be full of flowers, and really easy to grow from seeds. You can also do cuttings of them, and this really reminds me, I think you would agree, such a grandmother plant, because my grandmother had it. So every time I see it, I think about my grandmother, which is still alive. We're going to her birthday tomorrow. She's 92. And my other grandmother is 91. So they live a very long time in my family, apparently. So, but that one is a great memory.
And they have great taste in flowers.
Right, that's true. And oh yeah, back here, I almost couldn't see it.
I was
the
on the way.
iris here, look at that. This Siberian Iris, that is pretty.
Really pretty. The rhododendron as the backdrop.
And
Oh,
that
that was
one we
really
actually
nice.
pruned it down. When we first moved in 6 years ago, it was really ratty looking and tall, and rhododendron you can really prune back. Then right after the flowering is the best time to prune it back, and you can do a really hard prune. And you might, if you do a very hard prune, you might not have flowering the following year, but you'll get a much bushier and much compact and green bush again. So
Speaking of, right next to the hydrangea next to it,
look at that
these are the
one.
only two things that when we bought the house, and obviously the backyard came with it, these are the two things that were here, this beautiful hydrangea and this rhododendron, and one more that we moved, but yeah,
that's actually what's
they have
left.
survived, and
Yeah.
in the same spot they've been. They had the house 17 years before us, so who
That's
knows
true.
how long they've been here.
Yeah.
Here's something we don't see every day in Denmark. A dragonfly.
On a lupin.
Oh, look at
Oh.
him. Oh, he knows I'm here.
Ready
We
to
don't
attack.
see very many of them here.
No, that's true. We sometimes also have some in the summer, some rare, like a, looks like what is it called, the hummingbird?
Hummingbird hawk moth.
We had one in the spore belt.
Every year we've had
Every
one.
year we had one. They come up from Turkey, and I always think it's a
Hummingbird.
hummingbird, because that we don't have that in Denmark. So at my my in-laws in USA, I'm always so amazed. They have so many. She feeds them every summer. And
Hummingbirds, not
hummingbirds.
the hawk moth.
Yeah, they're hummingbirds, and I think it's so special. So every time I'm like, oh, I think it's that one. But
And when I grew up in South Georgia, we had lots. Is he still there? Or am I headed back for no reason?
yeah, he's there.
We grew up with lots of dragonflies. Then you move here and you see other beautiful creatures, but you just don't see dragonflies.
No.
So if you have them in your part of the world, good on you. Enjoy them. Anyway, Lars, I thought we would show this plant since here's a better
blonde
example.
again.
Yeah.
Also, you will see it out. Some people say, oh, it's a weed because it's out in the wild in Denmark, native to Denmark, but it's really great for the insects. So we have it. We tend also to keep an eye on it because it gets kind of tall, but a bunch of flowers as well. Now it's like you can see this one is kind of withered away, and then we can deadhead that one, and it will keep producing. Some of them are almost like a funny looking ones, like it produces snow shoots on the side there, but it has this upright stem, and then we can stake them. Some of them get a little bit crazy, but I leave it there, and it's also great at self-sowing. But for now it's here, and it's really doing well.
And it's quite see-through, so we can have it in lots of different places. You'll see it.
Yeah.
If you pause the video, you'll probably see it in lots of different places here in the garden. But this one's front to middle because it's nice and airy.
Maybe we take them to the middle just to talk about another one I have teased you. Look at this wallflower, which is still flowering for weeks on now. And this one we don't prune back. We kind of not accidentally. Alan did last year, and we only had a green pillow. So this one we really don't touch, even though it looks kind of dead. So we don't cut that back like other ones. But going also back to the staking that I showed down here. Here's another Salvia cardona here that has these black beautiful stems, and look at they are just about also pretty early here. Normally they come in June, and they are all of July as well. Really pretty. But here I've actually staked them also, and here you can see I did like a little cross with bamboo sticks that you can then reuse every year. Kind of just made a cross, and it really holds them up nicely. I put a few more around, and once it grows up, you don't really see it, and it holds them into place.
We actually did that here in the middle as well. Where was the one we just staked before I grabbed the camera?
Oh, that one here actually, here. Can you see it if I move my hand?
Let's see.
Yeah,
So we use a lot of bamboo.
There's a little bamboo too.
Just in an X shape. We do that a lot because those metal rings are quite expensive.
Yeah.
And it's either bamboo sticks that we have or sticks we've gathered on walking
And they are
trips in the forest.
really pretty here. Also they're called black stocking here, and the stem is almost really dark, and just look at that. Super pretty, and they start like a little ball here. So they really, and reminds you a little bit about the Aquilegia here. And just next to I love these ones, a new one we placed late autumn, the Mount Everest Allium here. But look at that one. Oh, that is pretty. So we placed them here. We removed the foliage away because that was kind of a little bit dead looking, and they don't need the foliage to have the flower for next year. But they're doing really well here in this middle flower bed, and everything is just coming up. Also, we have spore balgam here in red, just about to come up. We have it in white as well, and it's slowly coming.
I don't think you can hear all the bees because we have on the microphones, but maybe you can see them back there in that set of yellow and pink lupins. Really pretty. Oh, the sun's back out. We've had all the weather today, Lars.
We really had rain in the morning, and that's the Danish weather. Actually, I have a corner here. We've talked about it a few days. Not really pleased with it. We had some lavender that didn't really thrive. We added some rich soil, and of course they didn't really like that. So we have some digitalis and then some geranium in the back, and traulekrone here that's about to finish. And then we weren't really so happy with it, so we kind of changing it a bit, and we really have to remember to water. So we have a Scabious here that that's the thing, sometimes you plant it not in the right spot, but then you can always move it with perennial. So we have a Scabious here that won't get that tall, so I actually want to move it a little bit out in the front, so I just moved it from there, and then I have this slangurt that I want to then place in its spot because it gets a bit taller. And I divided some up in the garden, and this one I placed in water so it really soaks up before I plant it, and then later on also I'm gonna water it really nicely so you can see it's really, really wet.
And this we got from a friend of ours who had it in their garden. So we don't have this one in ours.
So that's right. So it's nice to, you can share. And so I'm actually gonna put it down here. The soil is really nice, but we want to have it like the rest of the garden, really packed. So I'm just gonna put it down here. I'll just step in here.
And
So
this new flower bed we did well, next week, why you do that, Lars?
Yeah.
Next weekend will be exactly 1 year that we planted in this flower bed, and everything we got from our greenhouse, from seeds, from cuttings, from divided plants from friends. And it's doing really well in its first year. The lupins are looking great. How's that looking, Lars?
That's better, right? Ta-da! And it might look a little bit sad in the beginning. You could also remove the flower so it'll focus on doing the
Because it's
roots.
going to look really sad.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It's going to start going through its life, and those little flowers
Just
are
like
going to
people.
look pretty sad. But it'll be okay next
It's
year.
going to be nice. So I'm going to put the Scabious here instead. And then I'm actually having one here that I'm not happy with too, because I see the geranium. That's the thing when you plant very closely, like we do here, it's a bit too close. This is a small plant, a perennial here, so it needs to go really out in the front. So I'm going to actually plant this here, and it gets much more air, because this one is going to cover this ground here, this beautiful geranium here. And then this one can go in, and then I'll keep it watered. But actually tomorrow, I looked the weather for, because it's going to rain when we go to the birthday for my grandmother. So today's the day we go in the garden. And here we have some Rosenkraut. We actually went at a little plant market today this morning, and I accidentally came home with a plant I don't have.
Yes. We brought a whole trailer of things that we've grown to sell, and then Lars went home with only 2, though.
Only
2 or
2,
3.
but they just 4 actually.
Oh, okay. So 4 extra
But this
plants.
one will have beautiful, it's called Rosenkraut in red and also in pink. It's going to almost look like a echinacea. It's going to be really pretty here. You're going to love it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll plant 1 in now here.
So you probably wonder, is there really space to plant more plants? And the answer is, I guess so. If you think every time Alan has the camera he shows the rosemary in flower, you would be right. This rosemary is in flower all the time. I don't know what it's doing, but it must be very happy.
But you should also be very proud, because you actually pruned it really nicely, and it's really getting bushier and just keeps flowering, for months on, and look at the tips. New growth means it's happy.
Well, flowers means it's happy. So
And new growth.
I like living here, so I guess it does too. And it probably likes that we don't really use it until Thanksgiving, so
It's like, yay.
which is November, American Thanksgiving in November. So
But also here in this is so new. We made that just actually a year ago. This whole terrace here. It was
I just said that a while ago when you were.
I know you
Oh, you're
mentioned,
repeating.
but I mean, because for the ones who didn't hear maybe. But when we had, I just wanted to go back because it was so. I was busy planning, I think. But because this is so new, it's really, I think it's really, amazing to see how everything has just come alive just from seeds I've sown or cuttings, and that it ties in with the garden so much more now. Instead of having such a big stone terrace that we don't have to clean. And anyway, going back to the flowers, but the Jakobstie here is really nice here together with the lupins. And the Aquilegia, that's also a really nice mix here. I think they are doing really well. Even in this small space, we have so many things. And also this very special yellow Aquilegia here. Wow.
It's either called Golden Queen or Yellow Queen.
We get so confused.
It's some kind of a queen, and I'll be sure to put it in the description and probably on top of the video. But it's a queen of yellow nature.
And look what I saw. seed pods coming. When they are brown and almost black,
Oh,
opening
hold on.
up.
Don't move.
So this one means free baby Aquilegia. You can get so many more in here. I shouldn't pick it now because it's not going to be ready. But when they are brown and you can almost hear them rattle inside, then it's ready. And then you can sow the Aquilegia here in. I would normally do it also late autumn. Then I have a bunch more. Another one,
More queens.
which I really like after we did this little new flower bed here, this border, is this that kind of, it creeps a bit more than. We were first like, we didn't know if you liked it. Actually, I kind of like it. It's the Nebita here, but in the white. Doesn't upright like we have some blue ones up in the pot. But this is kind of really going to be nice here next to this one, which is also both yours and my favorite. The Verbena Bampton here, which is a perennial, will later on have beautiful, beautiful pinkish.
Purplish.
Pinkish, purplish flowers.
By the way,
great in
Lars is a
pots.
little, it's no secret, you're a little colorblind. So that's why sometimes we discuss colors.
Yeah.
They're purple.
Just a tiny bit.
They're
okay.
purple.
Okay, they're purple. I would say a little light purple then.
And you said that we agree on this one, but we've also agreed to remove it.
I think it was the other one. We had one over
No,
here.
it was this one because this is on its way to take over the whole garden. Let's be honest.
But it looks very.
For now,
I think you would agree behind the screen that it kind of looks like lush and wild and it's pretty. And then we'll have some Salvia viridi here next to it.
yeah.
I
I don't
think
mind it now, and I do like that it
Okay.
softens the edge
Yeah.
of this hardwood. Also because we had to keep the dirt away. There I am. To
Yeah.
keep the dirt away from the wood, we put these pavers. So I like that it masks all of that. But the pollinators are happy.
Yeah.
But it won't be there next time you watch.
This is your favorite one. Maybe it's quite tall here where we have to see, but that's the Monada coming here. I'm super excited for that. That's also one of your favorite, and that's really pretty and great for the insects as well. So
Yes,
this
bee
whole
balm.
bee
And
balm.
I like it because my parents have a blueberry farm in South Georgia, and right now the annual U-Pick is going on. So if you're near South Georgia, go and pick some wonderful Key Crisp Southern Highbush blueberries. There you go. But in between the rows, they grow wildflowers to help the pollinators and to encourage pollinators to come into the blueberry field, and they have bee balm. And that's why it's one of my favorites. They also have blanket flower. So that's why those two have always had a special place in my heart. Remind me of home.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this flower bed is really doing well. It's come a long way since.
Since last year when it was
It's from last
concrete,
year, right.
100%.
And so we I hope this new area we're going to do is going to go well. So yeah, it's looking good.
Okay, before we let you go, I wanted to show you real quick the greenhouse. We have grapes that are on the way. And we have, behind you Lars, sorry, we have figs.
Look at that.
You know, we moved, this is a Bonhomme fig tree. And we moved it in here last year because it wasn't doing well in the garden. And as I've mentioned before, this is sort of the last ditch.
Yeah.
This is if it survives in here, then we keep it. If not, it goes in the compost. And I guess it heard me because it's doing really well. We have lots of
Really?
figs.
Yeah.
The birds can't get to them. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking
They are
of
very
birds,
they are very quiet because we actually found new homes to the 5 chicks they already had within 4 weeks. They got new homes because the mom started laying eggs again, and now she has 7 eggs and nesting again, being very broody. So in 16 days, there'll be new baby
king
quails.
quails. Yep.
Yes. Actually, we also went in just to show, because now it's May and it's great. There's no more frost. So I have some in between. We have mainly perennials, but in some holes, there's not many, but a few, where we then add in we have the Salvia viridi, the annuals, but also the hirsekras here, red jewel, is really pretty. So I plant that out in clumps in the garden. Then during the summer, they really doesn't look like much, but it will get dark foliage and then really pretty stems with a kind of a seed pod, really, really pretty. And also cosmos that will go out, can also be sown directly in the ground. And the great thing about these ones, if you pinch here after the first set of leaves here, or if they got leggy, you could either bury them more in the ground deeper, or just pinch the top here.
Hold on.
If I can with my nail here. Otherwise use a scissor, see if I can. Now it really bent. But pinch it here, and then it will create side shoots here and get even bushier. And then this one, I just add into the corner of the same pot here and keep it watered, and then that will start to create roots as well, which is really great. But so many other things, like we have Scabiosa and asters like annuals, that will give it a lot of extra color when some of the perennials are finished, just some extra pop of color out in the garden. So those are grown from seeds and can go right after the second, these are actually ready, the second set of leaves, we can pop them out in the garden.
Actually, can you guys hear, is that the dad or the mom?
That is the dad.
So the dad is, yeah, I don't know, again, I don't think you can hear it with our microphones, but he is not happy that we're in here right now. He is his version of growling at us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we'll leave him alone.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, but let me just show my fig tree. Look, I'm really pleased. I love figs.
There's a lot of them, look at that.
I want to make fig and pear jam. Doesn't that sound good?
We need a bit more though.
Well, we can make one jar. Okay, yeah, he's not happy.
Okay,
I'll back out slowly.
Okay, so very last thing I'm gonna do here in the garden now is planting these called hængepelargonier. So it's gonna really hang pretty over our balcony boxes. It's called rainbow red, really pretty. And they're gonna go out and really be so pretty on the out on the street, but also on the first floor on our
Exactly,
house.
we have 4 window boxes in front of the house. And we have one up in the top outside my home office.
Yes.
So that'll be really nice. And this called what? Rainbow red?
Rainbow red.
Yes. Actually, our neighbors joke about us.
Yeah.
They say they were going to look like we're in an Austrian ski resort.
Of course, we have, there you see it everywhere, just hanging over. So after
Beautiful. We
Yeah,
can definitely
so
say
that's
we were
gonna-
inspired
Yeah.
by beautiful Austrian and North Italian.
So let's go and do that.
All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you guys so much for coming with us on this May garden tour.
Yes.
As we mentioned, things are growing fast, and we can't wait to show you in just a few weeks what's coming up again.
That's true. So thank you so much for watching. Moin.